Hi, everybody. How are you today? We are here for another beautiful one. It's a beautiful day, and it's a guarantee that it's going to be a beautiful day because well, listen to that bird. That bird just said it's going to be a wonderful day. That was great. Quick visual descriptor before we get going. I have long brown hair, glasses, a gray shirt, silver bracelet, coffee mug in hand. And we have some beautiful trees, and we are in the gazebo in the public park space near the river. It is a wonderful day. Get your coffee, tea, whatever it may be, whatever gets your day going. I have coffee in hand. Mm. One more sip. Hmm. Yeah, that is what you call some good stuff. Ooh, so good. You overcommit. Do you schedule yourself for every available hour you have? Do you know right now who you're going to be on the phone with in 3 days at this time of day? Have you scheduled a vacation in there somewhere? I know, an abrupt change of topic right at the end, but overcommitment is a big issue. And when I say it's a big issue, I think it's a very prevalent and current and real problem for our current business lives. And it doesn't matter what your business is. I mean, we could be talking about your school schedule. Do you go to school currently, at university, at college, whatever, uh, so many days a week that you don't have any time for yourself? Are you working while doing that? Or do you work for a bigger company and then have your own business as well? Which, of course, then would mean that you're leaving a full time job to go home to a full time job. Do you lead a department or do you take on the responsibilities of many people within the department you're in? Are you just looking at time as something to fill up with productivity? And for that matter, are you feeling like productivity is truly the only thing of value that you can offer? A lot of reasons for some of these questions, but the biggest one is a culture of productivity. I mean, that's something that we live in. We live in a culture where we're supposed to be productive, where we're supposed to produce, we're supposed to do, we're supposed to be living the dream, but only from an external point of view. People are supposed to look at us and say, wow, what a life you have. You have that big house, you have that nice car, you have a swimming pool. I just saw that you took a trip over to Paris. Oh, that's amazing. But of course, what they don't see is the fact that you took that trip was simply so that you could do more business. Now, I know that not everyone is in that situation, but heck, who here hasn't had to travel to another city, another town, another location at some point in time for a job? Many, many years ago, I won't say exactly when, but I actually worked for a chain uh, store. And one of the things that they had me do is sometimes I'd be working at various locations across multiple counties. Sometimes my schedule required that Monday I would be in my home store, and then Tuesday I'd have to go an hour away to work another place, and then Wednesday I'd be going to a completely different one, only to have to, with 6 hours in between, go to my home store for my next shift. It boggles the mind that that's normality. And I'm sure even though this was some time ago, that company has not changed their policies on requirements for certain positions. And if you're in a management position, oftentimes you can find yourself doing the same thing, jumping from location to location. It's hard to get away from that in certain jobs. But jobs, careers, whatever it may be, you do have to consider how much you're committing of yourself to what you have to do. So let's talk for a moment about creating hard lines. Hard lines that distinctly denote what you will and will not do. Because if you don't have hard lines, if you don't draw a line in the sand, you can find yourself railroaded. You can find yourself directed, feeling out of control, and then maybe in a month, maybe in a year, maybe when it's probably too late to try to draw these lines, feel that burnout, stress, the overwhelming anxiety that, oh my goodness, I have to do this thing. I have to. It becomes an obligation. And this can happen for many different types of careers. It can happen for many different relationships in our lives. We can overcommit to something. Maybe you overcommit to your spouse. And I know that even that sounds a little wild, a little out there. How can you overcommit to your spouse? Well, maybe you haven't had a good conversation with them and they expect you to do certain things, to fulfill certain obligations that the two of you have never had a conversation about. They want to go see their family on this day, but you realize that, well, by the time you get out of work, you're going to have to leave the house right away. And part of you is screaming inside, oh no, I don't want to do this. I just want to have a peaceful evening. And then you commit and you do it anyway. There's a lot to be said for doing things for the benefit of others. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I mean, if you care about your career, if you care about your spouse, if you care about whatever it is that you're overcommitting to, yes, give, go ahead, give. Do things for the benefit of others. But keep in mind that you're going to need to schedule time to commit to yourself. We live in a day and an age where a certain amount of caring about us is perceived of as selfishness. But if we don't take care of us and we don't care of what our needs are, then we're no good to anyone else. We can become angry, resentful, stressed, anxious. We can feel out of control. If you look at your schedule and you realize you've penciled something in for every available hour that you're not sleeping, it's very likely you're overcommitting. You're putting yourself onto a path of burnout, to collapse. And once you get over the crest, once you reach that and start to go downward, it's almost inescapable. Just a consideration, take some time, block out breaks, make some hard lines in the sand. Let people know what you're not willing to do, because those things are going to affect you in a way that's going to affect those around you. If you put yourself in a position where you're crumbling, you're not going to be able to properly support your spouse or your partner. You're not going to be able to properly support your company, your career. If you're an entrepreneur, you're not going to be able to direct and grow your business if you're putting yourself under this heat lamp. And it's just a number of different things to consider, to think about, to really weigh. And remember, at the end of the day, the person that you need to take care of the most is you. Because if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to be really hard to take care of other people. You're going to exhaust your resources. And if you do that, it's just going to spider web. But to fly back to the concept of taking a vacation, do consider taking a vacation, and don't let anyone tell you that a vacation is somehow going to be bad for you. Doesn't matter if it's 2 days off or a week off or 3 weeks off, a vacation can be incredibly necessary. But consider your commitments. Grab yourself an extra cup of coffee, tea, whatever it may be. You deserve one. Now, there's going to be a link somewhere nearby. You're going to see it pop up either in the chat or you're going to see it in the description of this video, depending on where you're joining me. Pardon me, I'm sorry. And that is a link for my website and digital gallery where you can find my art, my originals, my prints. Consider expanding your world, adding some art to your life. Now, not only can you go ahead and you can get my original works there, acrylic paintings, charcoal work, but you can get prints for many of them. And actually, I have a bunch of prints available so that everyone can have access to art. And that's an important thing for me. I want everyone to be able to access art. I want to be able to spread what I do and share it with as many people as possible. So do consider getting yourself an original. Do consider getting yourself a print. Most certainly share my website on your social media. I would appreciate it so much. There you're also going to find a page where you can click a link and go sign up for one of my art workshops. And there's also at the bottom a subscribe. So for as little as $5 a month, you can subscribe to my website, support the arts, and also get a chance to hear all sorts of special news and have an inside track on what's coming, as well as all the events and things that I might be doing throughout the year. You're going to have your ear to the wall. But I wish you the absolute best. Please take care of you. Stay safe and be excellent. I'll see you all again real soon. Bye, everybody.